This is DownHome Sports, covering the best sports and student athletes in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank with ATM Live, powered by the people. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank.
Cool. Hey, Ellis County, guess what? We're talking basketball right now. We don't normally talk basketball this time of year, but because of these two guys, we are. Riley and Alan with the NBL coming at you live right now. So we'll start off with Alan. Talk about the genesis of coming up with the Summer League.
Yeah, so the Summer League, and our, I guess in what we've heard over the years, and since I've been here in Midlothian now about 5 years, there really hasn't been a summer program for basketball in the past. It's always been a winter thing, traditionally. And so last season, we started the league, post-COVID, started this fresh new league, had a great winter season, had about 320 kids participate, maybe 330, somewhere in that range. So awesome turnout. And throughout the season, we just kept getting so many parents and kids and, grandparents saying, hey, are y'all going to do something in the spring? Y'all going to do a spring season? And so, looking at it, the spring was a little bit of a stretch because we were just coming out of that long winter season. But we said, hey, why don't we put something together that will be a short time frame in the summer, 1 month, just the month of June is what we chose. But give kids an opportunity to develop some more in the summer, have something to do other than get in trouble, right? Around town and come out and develop in basketball and kind of have it end with a big, what we call a mega tournament, a big double elimination tournament. So they still get, a minimum of 5 games in within that month. And so we did, we set it all up. We worked with the school district to work out some practice facilities and some game facilities. And then we worked with Mansfield's athletic department for a big venue for the big tournament. And through all that preparation, we ended up having double the amount of kids from the winter season, which shows me there's definitely a big demand for developing in basketball over the summer. So that's kind of the nutshell of how it all came about.
Awesome. And Raleigh, one of the big things I noticed about y'all's league is y'all are doing basically pre-K up. So talk about what's great about having those younger groups be able to start this early with learning those basketball skills.
Yeah, of course. So just the idea behind, opening it up to pre-K and even we the 7th and 8th graders that we opened it up to, where we didn't do those age divisions last in the winter, our last season, was just for the developmental. So the goal, kind of Alan and I's vision and NBL's vision on the board is to develop, I told someone this the other day, actually, it was yesterday. I said, I'm so excited for 5-6 years from now to see someone entering a team, some players entering it into the pre-K level and then going through our program all the way up until 7th and 8th grade and then going on to play high school basketball or into middle school ball. I'm excited to go to those games. I wish I could fast forward to the future 7-8 years from now and then go see a child. So that's kind of our heart. That's kind of the idea behind just starting on that early is, we want to develop athletes for Midlothian High School and Midlothian Heritage. We want that basketball program to be strong, and we want to be in alignment, as a community with that.
Well, and, Alan, going back down to you, talking about, for a league like this, you have to have lots of volunteers. Talk about the different experience levels that you got of coaches that are volunteering.
Yeah, that's great. So, we've got, we had to have a minimum of, I think it ended up being about 60 head coaches for the summer season. And with assistant coaches, I think we ended up with about 90. So we've got about 60 head coaches, about half of them have assistants. So a lot of obviously volunteers stepping up to help make things happen. And what we found both in the winter and then especially this summer, as those numbers have grown, but because of the participation, we've got folks that are ex middle school and high school coaches that now maybe they're semi retired or they moved on to other things, and they're coming in just to further develop kids. We've got dads that have stepped up and moms that have stepped up in the various divisions that haven't really, may know a little bit about basketball, but haven't ever coached before. And so we're coming along them, trying to do everything we can to support them. We've got big plans to further develop that support level for the coaches. But, with it only being our second season, we're doing what we can now with plans for the future to do things like coaches clinics, things like that. But to answer your question around the experience, we've got a wide range, people that have only coached maybe one time in recreational or a couple of times, people that have coached as a vocation. And what's awesome about our league, and I think is incredible, is I've seen more experienced coaches that have, befriended other coaches in the league just naturally. And they help one another, because that's what our league's about. It's not about who can, be the best or undefeated, or, who can squash, another team. What we want to steward is that family environment and that community environment, more specifically, where the coaches are there to help one another, the volunteers, the staff, everybody's there to help one another and make it a good experience for the kids. And of course, the competition is a part of, sports, but we want to highlight those other things as heavily, if not even a little bit more than that competitive side, of the league.
Well, and Raleigh, you mentioned, I was talking about first a second, but you also mentioned 7th and 8th. It's been a long time in Ellis County since we had a 7th and 8th grade league. And thus far, I got to see a couple games, and the competition level there is pretty darn good. It's a lot of fun to see. But, when you've got coaches like Coach Sly, Coach Kelker, people that have been in there a long time, and they're giving the input to get these 7th and 8th graders ready, how important is that, not only to y'all as a league, setting people up for success later on, but getting those kids ready at that time?
Yeah, I think it's of utmost importance. I was a little unsure how that 7th and 8th grade age bracket was going to pan out, because I don't have any children that age yet. It's been a while since I've been 15, 16 plus years since I've been even around associated with youth sports in that age group, in the high level and rec levels of basketball. So I was kind of unsure on. I didn't know if we would have a lot of beginners. I didn't know if that age group would have the players that really are serious would already be playing in other summer leagues and or with their club teams. So as far as, but as when the season started and I saw the level of play and also the coaches that were coaching, and just hearing some of the things that they were being said, it's a high level of basketball that I was very surprised and pleased to see that. And I just think the idea behind it is just a lot of these kids are going to be going. A lot of these young men and young women, rather, are going to be going into, to Walnut Grove. They're going to be going to Frank Seal, and a lot of them are on the same team. And so I just thought that, we thought a little mini summer program with them all playing against each other or on the same team, is going to just catapult and give us, a leg up with those middle school teams when they go to play school ball in the fall.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I got to witness the girls' game the other night, folks. 12-12 all the way till the last minute, and then everything blew up. They went into overtime. It was awesome. Yeah. But Alan, talk about the theatrics of your league. It's not just, I think y'all been talking to Mark Cuban a little bit, but talk about, the atmosphere and everything else that's going on with what y'all are doing.
So whenever we decided to start the league last year, what we sat down and talked about, initially was, we want to start a league so there's an opportunity for basketball. And then we said, what's the league going to look like? And, I've got 4 kids, that are pre-K, up to 6th grade. Riley's got 4 kids as well. So we've played in a lot of recreational sports, whether it be soccer, basketball, YMCA type programs, local rec programs. And we said, what are the things we see that are really positive in these, programs? And what are the things that we would like to see improved upon, from a parent or spectator perspective even. And so we started looking at that, and it kind of snowballed a little bit more rapidly than we might have initially planned. We just started coming up with ideas and saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And somehow, obviously it was a lot of late nights and early mornings and hard work and a lot of people involved, volunteers and staff locally. But, we've been able to create an environment, which has been our goal, to where it's a community event. Every weekend of games it's a community event that brings people together, and they have a lot of fun. So, when we started, one of the questions was, how can we create an environment that the parents and the grandparents, the aunts and the uncles, brothers and sisters, maybe that are older, coming to watch the little ones play, how can we make it an environment where they have fun, where those folks come to the game excited, not just to watch their child, which is obviously the center focal point, but also, can they have some fun in the process? And so we've got things like, music, a lot of music going on. We've got, in most of our games, there's play-by-play being called. In kindergarten games, when you've got somebody calling play-by-play, talking about who's shooting the ball and who's inbounding the ball and explaining what the refs are calling. We've had a lot of comments from parents. Those aspects have helped them understand the game at a higher level, where, they may have put their kids in just to have some fun, which is great, but now they're actually learning what the game, how the game of basketball flows and what some of these calls are. And that helps them better communicate to their children when they say, hey, mom, dad, this happened. Why did they take the ball from me and give it to the other team? Well, now they can explain, because they heard, that MC explain what happened. They can say, oh, well, you had a backcourt violation because, when you're coming across, you can't go back. The parents are getting involved naturally because we're explaining those things in the game. We've got other things. Obviously, we've got, basic things like concessions going on. We've got picture booths to, help them capture those moments, when their kid gets through with their first week of games and, or wins or win or lose, getting to come out there and take pictures. This season, we did green screen pictures through a vendor so that they could have more high quality memories and things like that. We've got a coaches game we highlight at the very end of the season, the final tournament day. We have all the coaches play and the kids get to watch. This year, we've got a Coach of the Season award that goes to one of the coaches that really, displays the heart of Midlothian basketball in the areas of character building, integrity, and all those aspects that we value very highly. I could go on, but it's, we've got a lot of staff involved, a lot of volunteers, as we talked about earlier, and we've tried to make that experience one that people are excited about. And the feedback we're getting is that people are liking it. And so hopefully we can continue to build on it, season after season, and just get more and more, ways that we can bring people together.
Well, and Raleigh, y'all talked about a hometown feel and staff, and talk about your staff and how y'all are giving back to the community by the staff that you're using at your games.
Sure. So we decided, as a former high school student athlete, from, even in middle school, even working age on, it's hard for those student athletes with their schedules to work a regular job and earn some money. So Alan and I kind of put our heads together and said, who could we give an opportunity to that would have fun, that would enjoy being around the kids, and give an opportunity to someone that might not be able to work. Usually the athletes, they're respectful, they're good kids. They have high integrity, and we thought, let's reach out to some of the high school coaches at both high schools here in Midlothian and see if we can't get some of their boys and girls, their student athletes, to come help us. And it's been just a huge success, just to see the look on their face, earning money, getting to be a part of an organization around children, earning money where they would not have, normally been able to earn any money or, work a regular job. It's just also we hold them to a high standard, and we feel like teaching the next generation how to work and how to, greet somebody. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Just how to conduct yourself, under pressure situations. We train the staff. And so it goes a lot further than just, hiring a bunch of kids to just come work our games. There's a lot beyond that we value and that we really enjoy, being a part of, and then, giving back to that next generation.
Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. Well, Alan, I know y'all got a big tournament this weekend. I'm going to go with you with the logistics of it, and then Raleigh with what to expect with some of the games. So tell us the logistics of where you're playing, the times, et cetera, and some of the fun features y'all are going to have at this tournament.
Absolutely. So last night was our first night of a few first-round games. All of the games are being hosted for this tournament week at Mansfield High School Arena. So this facility is pretty amazing. If folks have never been there, it's got 3 full-size gymnasiums, 2 gymnasiums and a big arena, all in one building. So the unique thing that's really cool about that logistically is if you've got multiple kids playing at multiple gyms, you're not hopping in the car and running across town back and forth. You're just walking a few steps from one gym to another. So that's been incredible. Even this first night, we saw some of that. When people get there, we've got folks there to help direct them on where to park, help direct them on, where their games are. We've got huge brackets printed everywhere so they can see kind of what to expect if their child's team moves forward. Those are all in the lobby. The games are going to occur as far as when. They started last night. We've got 12 games tonight, 12 games Wednesday night. We got 15 games Thursday night, 15 games Friday night, and then about 36 to 38 games on Saturday.
Wow.
And so we've got a total of a little over 100 games. The games all take place during the week between 5, the start times are 5 to 9 o'clock. So, if folks want to come out, whether you got somebody, playing or not, that you can get there about 5 o'clock. You can watch some great basketball. If maybe you're working a little late, you can come as late as 8:30, 9 o'clock and catch some games. And then on Saturday, it's going to be all day. The thing people need to know as well on Saturday is when they get there Saturday at 8 a.m., we've got specific areas. If anybody's planning to be there all day, 12 hours, 10 hours, they've got spots they can set up their car, an ice chest, a tent, set up a little spot. All that's welcome. We've got some specific spots available for that. We've got inflatables, multiple inflatables. We got bounce houses. We've got, outside in one of the main parking lots, we've got a huge 40-foot obstacle course the kids can do, even if they get put out of the tournament and they want to hang around, they've got some stuff to do or in between games. We've got food trucks coming out. We've got Mexican cuisine. We've got barbecue. We're still working maybe on even having some sweets there, ice cream and snow cone type stuff. We've got concessions inside as well. We've got huge tents for people to eat under while their kids are playing for an hour or two here or there. Just lots to do. If you bring the family out, you're going to have a good time. All kids are free. So, if somebody, even if you don't have anybody playing, maybe your kids have some friends playing, bring the kids out. They can get into all that stuff, no cost. You can get, we've got day passes for $10 if you're just coming out on Saturday. If you're coming, we got a lot of families. They've got 3 or 4 kids in the league. They're playing every night. So we've got tournament passes for $15. That gets them in the whole week, as many events as they need to come to and would like to come to. And so very affordable, and you can bring all the kids and not have to worry about costs or anything with that. And it's just built to have a good time for the community. We've got some very special guests coming out to present awards even throughout the afternoon. And those will be to be announced. But we got some folks from the city council, some folks from the school board, just folks in the community that make a big impact coming out just to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, Raleigh, what's some of the big games we need to be looking out for this weekend, and when are they?
The big games, every game is a big game. So this is a double elimination tournament. So what I'm excited to see in all age divisions are There's a winners and a losers bracket, but there's some neck and neck teams, specifically at 7th and 8th, 5th and 6th, and a little bit of the older divisions that are playing each other. And depending on if they win or lose, I'm excited to see even the teams that may lose their first game work their way back up that bracket back into the potentially the championship. And it's just making it a double elimination tournament. Was a lot of extra work, but it's going to be just that much more fun for the kids. We have the brackets out, live brackets out in the lobby. So, I saw last night, even people running as soon as they won, and I saw teams talking, okay, if this happens and we play this team, strategizing. And so it's just a lot of fun, and it's going to just be I'm excited to see how it plays out. Obviously Friday and Saturday are going to be where where majority of the elimination games are going to be played. And also the championship games. So it's gonna get, the tension's gonna build, and the competitiveness is gonna keep building up, and it's gonna be fun to just watch those coaches and those players, fight, either win it all the way through and know they're the best, or I like the underdog. So I want to see some teams at the bottom and some high seeds come up through that bracket and get some upsets. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, I think you missed one game, right? Don't you have a coaches game as well? Talk about that and how y'all got that divided out.
All right. So the coaches game, so it's going to be awesome. Last year, it was a huge hit. This year, we had a little bit more time to plan it, and we have a lot more coaches. So what it's going to be is, last time Alan and I coached, we're actually the coaches of the teams. This time, I kind of pulled Alan's arm, I twisted Alan's arm, and we're actually going to participate in the coaches game, but we're going to be the captain. So we're going to get to pick our coaches, and we'll be player coaches. We won't play the whole time, but so I guess you could call us player coaches. But it'll be a little rivalry between Alan. He's built relationships with different coaches. I've been scouting all year to get my picks on my team, and so it'll be a little inner competition we get to participate in.
Okay. Well, Raleigh, do you think Alan will actually pick his wife this year? I was told he didn't pick his wife for his team last year. You think that'll go over this year?
I don't want
just playing, guys. Just playing.
I don't know what happened after that, but I'd imagine, knowing his wife, that he's likely to pick her up.
Well, guys, we want to thank y'all for putting together such a great league in our county. Folks, tonight, all the way through Friday, 5 till 10, Saturday, 9 to 9, over at the Mansfield High School. Make sure you make it out there. Make sure you check their Facebook page. They got all kinds of pictures, videos. I mean, it's pretty amazing all the stuff they've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time. But we want to thank y'all for hopping on and getting the information out there. And we wish y'all the best and all the kids the best as they go through this competition.
In Ellis County, we're always on the run. It's always good to know that someone's always there. Doesn't matter the time of day. With ATM Live, hours are always available. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can always pull right up and talk to someone live for that personal service. Or stop by and visit with the friendly folks inside. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.